What's going on, everybody? This is Afro Think Tank. So the Donald Trump administration has made it more difficult for green card holders to apply for green cards in America because now he has passed new legislation or an executive order. I'm not sure if he actually, because usually you have to get stuff like this approved by Congress, but because we live in authoritarian government, meaning one man controls everything and makes all the decisions, if you have not been paying attention, he has now made it more difficult for illegal immigration. Keep in mind, supposedly he was elected to stop illegal immigration, right? Because, yeah, we love legal immigration. We just don't want those illegal criminals involved in the United States. But, of course, what he really meant was anybody who's not white. So, of course, there's stipulations for this. Of course, the Jews, Jews won't have any issue. The double citizens, Israeli American Jews, they won't have any issues. White people from Europe, of course, they never have any issues when it comes to immigration, even though they illegally immigrate and they legally immigrate on pretty big numbers, but we never talk about the white ones because they're cool, right? Because they blend in. Plus, you got those white South African refugees who are running from not being able to commit apartheid on black folks. So, because they can't commit their own version of white supremacy in South Africa, they're refugees, white supremacist refugees in a white supremacist colony called America, right? So now, Donald Trump has, decided we got to get rid of the rest of these brown people, right? And the strategy is pretty basic, right? They're gonna get rid of all the people who already legally applied. We're gonna make you leave the country. And you got to wait. You know how long it takes to get a green card sometimes? It could take decades to get a green card, right? But if you apply and go through the process the way you're supposed to, the way America says you're supposed to, right, then you can stay here as a resident as you wait for your, green card, as long as you're like working or you're a student or you're doing something, right? Developing intelligence that's supposed to benefit America in the long run. That is the point of America, to import intelligence. That's what makes America great, is that we import our intelligence. See, this is going to be a key, right? We import. Listen, America is only great because we import our intelligence. We import our excellence. We import it. All right. It's our biggest import is intelligent people from other countries. We've always done that, right? We poach the intelligent people from other countries. So instead of those intelligent people and those capable peoples building their own countries, utilizing those intelligent skills that they have, they come to America and continue to be cogs within the machine of America, building and developing America's intelligence, right? But so what white supremacy is doing, thinking that they're going to get more brown people out the way because somehow that's going to affect America, in a positive way, seeing how America actually is underpopulated. States in America are losing their population and they actually need immigration in order to fill the jobs that are necessary, in order to pay the taxes that states need so they can fund their local state coffers, so that the federal government can ultimately get more money to spend on the things they like to spend on. So immigration is actually important. And so white supremacy are being so short-sighted and short-minded that their egos is letting them have we got this opportunity to be more racist and more discriminatory towards other people, which is POCs, the people that somehow voted for them and supported them, thinking, as POCs who, you figure if you just kiss white supremacists' ass a little bit more, maybe it'll work out for us. Well, apparently not. All right. Now, this is not African Americans' issue because we're African American. So we don't have to, this is not going to affect us one bit. Well, that's not true because a lot of African Americans are married to Africans who are waiting for their green card. So that will make it have an effect. Now, right, this is clearly a white supremacist, racist policy that hopefully will be challenged in the court, right? But see, this is the downfall that white people don't think about. You see, America, as great as these white European Americans think that they are, as great as they think that this place is, they don't realize that the greatness of the country is due to the other people that's not them. All right. And so this was going to happen. Canada right now is looking at this policy. It's like, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Brazil, they're like, hell yeah. England, they're like, hell yeah. Europe, they're like, hell yeah. Yeah. Go ahead and expel them. Go ahead. Kick out all those intelligent students that was going to school to be biotech engineers. Yeah, kick those. Kick those guys. What you was going to school for? you're developing new material that's stronger than steel. Yeah. You about to get kicked out. Yeah, come on over here. We got a program for you. These students, all right, because this is mostly going to affect the young, right? Because white supremacy is old. These guys are old, all right? These fuckers, they're not even, I don't even know who they fighting for, because they don't even have a future population to fight for anyways. Like, who you creating the future for? It ain't you, because you won't be here, right? But, that's neither here nor there. Right now, they're doing it, these old white fuckers, right? So all these other countries that have pristine universities, that have corporations that are willing to take on and sponsor these very same people to get kicked out of America, yeah, they're like, yeah, we'll come get you. Yeah, how many credits you got? Yeah, okay, we'll honor those credits. Yeah, and come over here and let us facilitate you. Come work for us. Come work and develop and build companies here. Come do that here. We'll accommodate you. You see, if America, white America, continues to try to make stupid white supremacist moves by kicking out the best people you can possibly have to develop a nation, and you're willingly giving them to other countries who's more than happy to have them. Trust me, America's not the only people that got a problem, all right? A lot of other countries got a problem, and the problem usually comes because America poaches all the solutions to those problems. But now America's trying to purge all those solutions to other countries to solve other countries' problems. So yeah, trust me, these people is gonna be all right. It's gonna be temporarily inconvenient. It's gonna be all right. And you know what else is gonna do? All right, this is another side consequence of doing things like this. You're gonna create economic nodes. You're gonna create supply lines unwillingly. Why? Because if you deport, and this is meant to deport Indians and Africans, this is really meant to deport Indians, Africans, and Spanish people, right? This is what it is. You're separating families. Of course, these people don't care about, families and separation and morals and kindness and humanity. They don't care about none of this shit, right? None of that shit matters. White, right? And by white, they mean rich white people, right? Not you poor white people. You can get deported, back to Alabama if they could. They'd put your ass back there, right? But you're connecting supply lines that weren't there that's going to be forced due to stress. Because if you separate a family, you think the family going to stop dealing with each other? If you send someone who's been in America, think about this now. Think about this, because you're forcing it to happen. And you can't get mad when it turns into something. For example, you force a bunch of green card holders who've been in America long enough to learn the system, who maybe have, some of them got online jobs. Because keep in mind, even if they get kicked out, some of these people still be working for the same American companies, making that same American money. They just have to do it overseas, So some of these companies are going to sponsor, their most valuable workers who are getting kicked out of the country. It's like, hey, you can remote work, you can do this, you can do that, right? Because corporations are international, right? So you're going to force thousands upon thousands, maybe millions of people who have jobs, connections, know-how of American systems and connections within America. If they are married or have girlfriends, have family, have a network, you're going to force them to go back to a country in which the American white supremacist likes to subjugate in order to, benefit from the riches of there. You're going to send these people back to these countries, and these well-to-do, smart individuals are going to figure out, well, damn, since I'm in this situation and I got these lemonades, I might well make lemonade. I got these lemons and make lemonade. So these people are going to start businesses because they got to survive, right? They got to make the best of the situation in which they got forced to be deported from a place, for most of them, that they've known for such a long time. And because they're green card holders and they're coming from other countries, they're also quite familiar with their own country, right? So if you're familiar with both countries, you got networks in America, right? What you're going to do, you're going to make the best decision you can. You're going to start a business. You're going to start importing or exporting. You're going to start leveraging your U.S. dollar or the U.S. dollars that you make, your spouse makes. You're going to try to build a business where you are in order to take advantage of the situation you were forced in, right? And then, because you got to think, man, the green card's going to take me about 10 years. They're going to hit reality. You're like, okay, well, I need to make my American dream here with this American money or my American connections. And before you know it, there's going to be thousands of new supply lines connecting America to various other countries. There's going to be thousands of other businesses that develop because, people are going to be forced to leverage their U.S. dollar and U.S. relationships, right, to build and develop in their own countries, which ultimately in the long run benefits the other country. People are trying to leave the U.S. any goddamn way, right? It's not like America's good, right? But it's not the only place in the world to live. You know, some of these arrogant European Americans truly believe America is so much greater than other places, and they ain't never been nowhere. To realize that that's just something that they tell you on TV to keep you patriotic, right? But anyway, yep, Donald Trump is doing it. If you know, and like I said, it's not really an African American problem, right? Because you know, the white folks in America want to keep their African Americans because we are America. Without us, it'll be England, New England, and that's be boring. They'll probably start a war, a Catholic Protestant war or some shit, and kill themselves off. Then they'll stop, you know, practicing cultural habits that we have, and they'll stop like using washcloths and washing and shit, and they'll go back to their European ways, and they'll probably die of bacteria and all kind of viruses and shit. Like, you know, like, you leave them to their own devices. We already know what's going to happen, right? So they're not going to get rid of us. They need us, right? As Matt, where we're leaving too, though. So, I mean, shit, we might be on the plane with you, shit, trying to get the hell up out of here on purpose, right? Some of us anyway. But, yeah, this was just another step in this racist neo-Nazi administration. This is, I mean, God, this dude is racist. Like, he is, like, if there was like a, you know, a questionnaire of how to be racist, right? Or what a racist leader would do, right? And you just fill out all the possibilities that will qualify someone to be a racist person. Donald Trump checks all the boxes. This administration checks all the boxes. The Republican Party, if you want to, you know, put together what would a racist organization look like and what kind of actions would they do? If you just look at the Republican Party, they check all the boxes. But, you know, these POCs voted for this administration because they ain't want that black woman. Them Latinos, that machismo, right? They was like, oh, I can't vote for that black woman. No way, I'm a Mexican, what makes me white adjacent, right? So, well, you know, this is what you get. You Indian people, the ones who voted for Trump, I don't know. I know what you guys are thinking. You guys keep thinking that your caste system put you close to whiteness. You really think those white people are going to accept you. And you are willing to humiliate yourselves, which, you know, have been proven that white people will humiliate themselves on a national, international, and global scale in order to suck the mayonnaise-filled eggplant of that white man with no shame. They gargle and they swallow. That's what Indian people do. And, you know, I know they all don't do it, but for the most part, they all do that shit. Like, except for like onesies or twosies that don't woke up. But, I mean, they done demonstrated that shit. They are all in with white supremacy. So, but, you know, white supremacy don't feel the same way about y'all. That's the thing. It's a toxic relationship y'all got. It's a one-way relationship y'all go. Y'all Indians and white people got a one-way relationship, you know. You Asian folks who, you know, didn't quite understand the American system as you guys were, you know, kind of like, you know, looking at it from the perspective of your highly hyper-competitive Asian societies, and came over here with that hyper-competitive thing, and you thought that, you know, that white folks was going to be, you know, I don't know, it's like they your competition and your best friends at the same time, or your peers. Maybe y'all think y'all peers or something. You think they respect you like peers, which they don't. You know what I'm saying? But I think you guys are figuring that shit out now. You know, I mean, this just goes to show you. I mean, we all told you this was going to happen. And this happened. It's all part of Project 2025, right? It was in the book. We told y'all before y'all, you know, went out there and voted for the white supremacists who had a record of being a white supremacist, of being a misogynist, of being a rapist. He's actually a criminal. You know what I'm saying? He should really be unqualified to be the president of the United States, to be honest. But, you know, so I'm kind of wondering, are we going to have some sort of comprehensive justice reform for people who used to be in jail, and they should be allowed to run for the presidency, right? People who've been charged with a crime should be allowed to run, because the president right now and he's the president. So I'm just saying there should be some laws changed to give people who did their time, you know, get back their representation, you know, on the planet. You know, give them back their vote. Let them, you know, vote. Let them run for office. Because like I said, we already set the president. The president has been set. All right. So some lawyer, you know, in a couple years from now should bring that shit up and give people who've been in jail for any amount of time, right, you know, the ability to get their vote back as citizens of these here United States. Anyway, you guys tell me what you think about this in the comment sections. Afro Think Tank, learn something, teach something. I'm out.
All right, so look, I don't know if y'all noticed or not, but we are in the age of the enlightened black man. We ain't living in ordinary times. The veil is thinning and the masks are slipping. And for those with eyes to see and ears to hear, a shift is happening. We are entering into the age of the enlightened black man. Not the flashy one, not the assimilated one, not the one begging for crumbs at the seat of a dying empire. I'm talking about the one who studies the system, the one who dissects the illusions, the one who refuses to feed the machine that continuously tries to grind him down. I'm talking about the one who carries books like weapons and silence like strategy. For too long, black men have been forced to wear the mask just to survive. The mask of the thug, the mask of the hustler, the mask of the clown, the mask of the obedient worker, the company man, the mascot for whiteness wrapped in black flesh. The masks are falling, and something ancient is waking up, because we've reached a point where supporting this racist, capitalist, extractive, anti-black system, we've reached a point where supporting this system is no longer ignorance. It's betrayal. Come on, let's be real. If you're a black man and you are still defending this system, you're not just lost, you're dangerous. You are dangerous to the people who need you to rise. You are dangerous to the ancestors who survived unspeakable horrors so that you can stand upright with a mind of your own. You are dangerous to the youth who are watching. You are dangerous to the youth who are watching and wondering if manhood means submission or revolution. This system feeds on black compliance. It lives off our silence, our labor, and our loyalty to our own oppression. And every black man that is still clinging to titles, dollars, or prestige handed out by the oppressor is holding us back from liberation. Here's the thing, something new is rising. A new type of black man with a new type of mission, with a new vibration. The enlightened black man. He's not looking for likes, and he's not chasing trends. He's not begging for acceptance from the systems that were not built for him. He's studying, healing, and teaching. He is unlearning all the lies that he was raised on, and he's remembering truths that are buried deep in his bloodline. He's the revolutionary nerd, the spiritual scholar. He is the quiet warrior that knows that the mind is the first battlefield. He knows that racism isn't just hate, it's architecture. He knows that the system does not need his cooperation, it needs his absence. This is the man who refuses to sell his soul for a check. He's the one who won't stand on stages funded by white supremacy and then turn around and call it success. He's the one who refuses to exploit his own people for personal gain, because he understands freedom is not just political, it's spiritual. He knows that liberation is not just about protest signs, it's about reclaiming the self. So he's rewriting what masculinity means. He's reclaiming.
The Trump administration just made an immigration policy change that's not going to have the effect they think it's going to have. See, Republicans keep saying they want people to come here legally, but the Trump administration just made an immigration policy change that says, hey, if you're already in the United States temporarily, a student visa, a temporary work visa, a tourist visa, and you decide you want to try to get a green card while you're here, well, you'll have to leave and return to your home country and apply from abroad, and instead of just attempting to adjust your status here, which has been available for decades. Because here's the thing. You might say this sounds like a good idea, but leaving the United States is not just a trip home to file paperwork. Leaving the country can trigger travel bans that can keep them from coming back into the country for up to 10 years. Many of these people have U.S. citizen spouses, U.S. citizen children, and it means that they're going to be separated from their spouses and children, their families, for up to a decade. And guess what? This will backfire on Republicans. This policy will, because I wouldn't leave my family for 10 years just because Trump, who's going to be gone in a little under 3 years, says I have to. So people are going to just avoid immigration services. They're going to stop applying. They're going to disappear from the legal process completely and try again later. And that is what Republicans don't want to deal with. They want to just say, look, there's more illegal people that we didn't know about. You can't spend years yelling, do it the right way, and then keep making the right way not work. You can't make the right way slower, more expensive, more confusing, and more punishing. That does not reduce unauthorized immigration. It creates more of it. And these people are too stupid to realize it, because when the legal process becomes more dangerous, more expensive, slower, and more likely to separate families, fewer people use it.
There is one group of immigrants exempt from the crazy new policy issued by immigration a couple of days ago preventing change of status inside the United States. According to the new policy, immigration officers will now use discretion to decide who can get a green card inside the United States, and the rest will have to go home and get it at the US Embassy. Well, USCIS spokesperson just announced that if the immigrant provides an economic benefit to the United States, they most likely will be able to get the green card from inside the United States. So who are these people? If you have a business, if you employ people, if you're a professional, engineer, doctor, architect, scientist, you can show that your job is necessary. Your argument to be able to stay in the United States will be high. It doesn't mean that you're going to get it 100%, but you have more chances to convince an officer. So say you came here on a tourist visa, you overstayed your visa, but you're a physician, you're working in a hospital, that's economic benefit, and you'll get your green card.
America has made legal immigration harder than illegal immigration, and Indians are paying the biggest price. Trump administration has announced that you can no longer stay in the US if you are waiting for a green card. And if you're an applicant for a green card, you can no longer apply in the US. This means that you have to leave your job, your family, with no guarantees to come back. This is unfortunately a very sad story for all the hard-working immigrants that have put their life and their money into that country, paid taxes, and now they're just told to basically fuck off. Tell me what you think of this and follow for daily updates.
Breaking news coming in, Trump just changed the green card process and making it extremely difficult to receive a green card now. And you may have to leave the United States to even apply for one. According to the Associated Press, the Trump administration has announced a major immigration policy change that could affect hundreds of thousands of green card applicants. Under this new policy, many immigrants who are already living legally inside of the United States may no longer be allowed to stay here while applying for permanent residency. You will have to go back to your country of origin. Instead, they could now be required to leave the country and apply for a green card through their home nation through the U.S. consulate overseas. For decades, many people use a process called adjustment of status, which allowed them to apply for a green card without leaving America. Now, the Trump administration says too many people were using temporary visas. This includes student, tourist, or work visas. The pathway to permanently stay inside of the country. According to this new policy, that is no more. As you can imagine, immigration attorneys are now scrambling to figure out who exactly this applies to, whether pending applications will be protected, and how quickly this could take effect. This is one of the biggest legal immigration policy changes since Trump's second term. Follow along for more. I will keep you up to date with this news and everything that you need to know about. And don't forget to share this.
I pray all of the billionaires who exploit the lower class fucking die. And they get licked down, put in the ground, dug up, and then fucking told to die again. Bitch ass fuck. Fuck is you talking about? Amen.
Free Sudan! Boycott diamonds and gold! Free Sudan! Boycott diamonds and gold! We most definitely cannot forget about the people of Sudan.
Thanks for watching Afro Think Tank. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And follow me on Substack and Patreon for more content. Remember, it's Pan-Africanism or nothing.